Imagine you are an ancient human walking through the tall grasses of the savannah. Suddenly, you hear a rustle. A saber-toothed tiger leaps out. In that instant, your body does something amazing. It floods with hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart pounds, your muscles tense, and your breathing becomes fast and shallow. All your energy is channeled into one of two choices: fight the tiger or run for your life. This is stress. It is a powerful, life-saving biological response designed to help you survive a short, intense, and very real threat. It's what we call an acute stressor, and our bodies are brilliantly designed to handle it. Now, fast forward to today, 2025. You are sitting at your desk, and an email from your boss arrives with the subject line "urgent." Your heart begins to pound, your shoulders tighten, your breathing gets shallow. Your body is reacting in exactly the same way it would to a saber-toothed tiger. But there is no tiger. There is only a demanding email, followed by a traffic jam, a difficult conversation with a family member, and a constant stream of worrying news alerts on your phone. The threat is not a physical one that you can fight or flee from. It is a persistent, low-grade emotional and psychological pressure that never seems to go away. This is the fundamental difference between ancient stress and modern stress. For our ancestors, stress was an event. It was intense, yes, but it was also temporary. The encounter with the tiger would end. You would either escape to safety or, well, you wouldn't. If you survived, your body would have a clear signal that the danger had passed. The stress response would shut down, and a period of rest and recovery would naturally begin. Your system was designed for this rhythm. A massive burst of energy, followed by a long period of calm where you could repair and reset before the next challenge arose. In our modern world, we have taken that life-saving system and turned it against ourselves. We activate the same powerful stress response for deadlines, financial worries, and social pressures. The problem is, these modern tigers are not events that end. They are ongoing conditions. The email inbox is never truly empty. The financial pressures can last for years. The difficult relationships persist. Our bodies remain in a state of high alert, with stress hormones constantly circulating. The stressor never disappears, so our bodies never receive the signal that it is safe to stand down and recover. For our ancient ancestors, dealing with stress was a full-body experience that always led to a conclusion. This is what we call completing the stress cycle. When the saber-toothed tiger appeared, the stress response was activated. Then, they did something physical. They ran. They fought. They hid, trembling. This intense physical movement was the most efficient way to tell the body that it had successfully survived the threat. The running, shouting, and shaking helped to burn through the stress hormones and release the tension stored in the muscles. It was the body's natural way of saying, "The crisis is over. We are safe now." After the physical exertion, recovery was not optional. It was a built-in part of life. Imagine our ancestor, having escaped the tiger, finally reaching the safety of their cave. They would collapse, surrounded by their community. They might share the story of their narrow escape, receiving comfort and reassurance from their tribe. This social connection, the hugs and shared relief, was a powerful signal to the brain that the danger had passed. Laughter, crying, and storytelling were all essential tools for processing the emotional aftermath of the stressful event, helping to regulate the nervous system and bring it back to a state of equilibrium. Another critical part of their recovery process was nourishment and rest. After such a dramatic expenditure of energy, the body would crave food to replenish its stores and sleep to repair itself. Our ancestors would eat a hearty meal and then fall into a deep, restorative sleep, often in the communal warmth and safety of their group. The natural cycle of day and night also played a crucial role. As darkness fell, the absence of artificial light would signal to their brains to produce melatonin, the hormone that promotes sleep. This deep rest was non-negotiable and essential for cellular repair and mental processing. This entire sequence, the stressor, the physical action, the social connection, the nourishment, and the deep rest, formed a complete loop. The stress was not just managed, it was fully processed and released from the body. Their environment and lifestyle ensured that stress cycles were completed as a matter of course. There was no need to schedule self-care because the very structure of their lives provided the necessary release and recovery. They moved their bodies, connected with others, ate real food, and slept in the dark. These were not wellness trends. They were the fundamental mechanics of human survival and well-being. Today, our lives are structured in a way that actively prevents us from completing the stress cycle. We experience the same rush of stress hormones as our ancestors, but we are expected to sit still and pretend everything is fine. When you receive that stressful email at work, you cannot run screaming from the office. When you are stuck in traffic, you cannot get out of your car and physically fight the congestion. Instead, you are required to suppress the physical response. You sit quietly, clenching your jaw, tightening your shoulders, and letting all that stress chemistry swirl around inside you with nowhere to go. The consequences of these incomplete stress cycles are immense and accumulate over time. When stress hormones like cortisol remain elevated, they begin to cause damage. Physically, this can manifest as digestive problems, chronic headaches, high blood pressure, a weakened immune system, and persistent fatigue. Mentally and emotionally, it shows up as anxiety, depression, irritability, and a feeling of being completely overwhelmed or burnt out. You might find yourself unable to focus, struggling with your memory, or feeling emotionally numb. These are not signs that you are weak. They are signs that your body is stuck in survival mode. Our modern environment actively conspires against natural recovery. Instead of moving our bodies, we sit for hours at desks, in cars, and on sofas. Instead of connecting with a supportive community in person, we often engage in shallow and sometimes stressful interactions on social media. Instead of winding down in natural darkness, we flood our evenings with the blue light from screens, televisions, laptops, and smartphones. This artificial light disrupts our body's production of melatonin, making it harder to get the deep, restorative sleep our brains and bodies desperately need to process stress and repair themselves. The result is that we live in a state of chronic, unresolved stress. We are like computers with too many programs running in the background, slowing everything down and eventually leading to a system crash. The real problem is not the existence of stress in our lives. Stress is an unavoidable and sometimes even helpful part of being human. The real problem is the relentless accumulation of stress without the corresponding release and recovery. We have forgotten the second half of the equation, the essential art of completing the cycle and allowing our bodies and minds to return to a state of rest. The good news is that we do not need to move to a cave to reclaim the wisdom of our ancestors. We can learn to complete the stress cycle by intentionally building recovery practices into our modern lives. The key is to understand that recovery is more important than simply trying to manage or reduce stress. We need to give our bodies the signals they are waiting for, the signals that tell them they are safe and the threat has passed. The most direct way to do this is through physical movement. You don't have to run from a tiger. A brisk 20-minute walk, a dance party in your kitchen, or even just tensing and releasing your muscles can help. Creating pockets of quiet and disconnection is another powerful way to signal safety to your nervous system. In a world of constant noise and stimulation, finding even 10 minutes of silence can be profoundly restorative. This doesn't have to be formal meditation. It can be as simple as sitting in a quiet room and staring out of the window, listening to calming music without lyrics, or spending time in nature. The goal is to give your brain a break from processing new information and allow it to enter a more restful state. This is the modern equivalent of our ancestor finding a moment of peace after a long day's hunt. Prioritizing sleep and darkness is perhaps the most fundamental recovery practice of all. Our bodies are hardwired to the rhythm of day and night. To honor this, we must consciously create darkness in our evenings. An hour before bed, dim the lights. Turn off bright overheads and use warm, low-level lamps instead. Most importantly, put away the screens. The blue light they emit is a powerful signal to your brain to stay awake and alert. By creating a dark, cool, and quiet sleep environment, you give your body the best possible chance to engage in the deep restorative processes that happen only during sleep. As we stand at the end of 2025, let this be our resolution for the year to come, to treat recovery not as a luxury, but as a biological necessity. We must recognize that stress without recovery is a recipe for burnout. By intentionally moving our bodies, seeking out quiet, embracing darkness, and connecting with loved ones, we can complete the stress cycle. We can teach our ancient bodies how to thrive in this modern world. We don't need to eliminate stress, but we must make time to come home to ourselves, to rest and to recover, so that we can face the next challenge with strength and resilience.